Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success. Presents Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, a show that shines a light on spiritual growth, health, purpose, and financial education. It's time to emerge and begin to live out your dreams, walk into your destiny, while making a difference in the lives of many.
Welcome to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. I am your host, and it's always an honor and a privilege to come before you another Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. This radio show, as well as podcast, will kind of really help you to explore the real, raw, and relevant journey of life, healing, purpose, and also legacy. I am your host, Mellisa Lambert, and today's episode, it's a bit personal, right? I wanted to kind of come on to talk about mental breakdown. And when I think about what's going on, even right now in society, so much is happening. Can you believe we're in the middle of the year almost, right? And so much has happened. And many of us have not really took the time to take things in. We all got a lot going on. So on today's show, I'm going to talk about mental breakdown and how to know you're having one. Many of us don't even know when we're having a mental breakdown. And in the process, how do we avoid that? And what to do so we can stay happy, have a peaceful mindset, and even be present in the moment. So let's dive deeper, not just to survive in a sense, but to thrive in today's fast-paced world. So many of us have gone through it. Many of us may have gone through the phase where we, been just doing so much, right? Or we're feeling like we're not doing too much, or we feel like we have lived our life for our family or our children, and not even for ourselves. So let's have that full breakdown of just life in general. What is when you think about mental breakdown? Some people can call it nervous breakdown in a sense, but it's very real. It's something that's not talked about much. It's a period of intense mental distress where you as a person having a temporarily unable to function in your daily life. Or I remember a situation that happened to me on Tuesday where, was it Tuesday? No, I think it was Monday. What happened on Monday where in about an hour break, where in that 1 hour, something happened. I just could not remember my phone password, how to enter my phone. And I just drew a blank. And many may not think that's a mental breakdown, but at that moment, I was literally having a meltdown. Because just imagine, you can't get in your phone for not just 20 minutes, for 2 hours, and you're sitting there oh my gosh, what is my password? I've tried 4 times. Now I'm locked out for a whole hour. What is it? And that to me at times is because I was on overload. And many of us are even at that place where we're on overload. So what are the common signs? What does that include when you think about someone having a nervous breakdown or even a mental breakdown? One, extreme emotional outburst or numbness. I've been there where I have both, where emotionally I have a total outburst because I was I can't take it no more. Or I'm just numbed to the situation. If you are that type of person where you feel that, extreme stress to the point where you have this full outburst, raise your hand or say, that's me. Or even when situation comes around where you just feel numbed to it, whatever, you can say that's me, or, I can relate. The second common signs for when you see a person having a mental breakdown is insomnia. or oversleeping. For me, it was insomnia, where it's 11 o'clock, it's 12 o'clock, it's 2 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock, still cannot sleep, right? So that's was my phase. What is yours? The third is loss of appetite or overeating. For me, is I can go hours without eating. Then later on, I'm overeating. So mine is both loss of appetite and between the morning, I just need a coffee. If I drink my coffee, I don't really need anything else, and I really don't eat nothing else. And then later on in the night, you find me because I can't sleep. I'm overeating. Again, this is some common signs of a person having a mental breakdown or a nervous breakdown. Fourth, panic attacks or racing thoughts. For me, it was panic attacks where I was just like literally having, panicking over a situation or a matter, right? So what is that for you? What's that sign that you can say that, oh gosh, I got to stop because I'm having a mental breakdown, or I got to stop, I'm having a nervous breakdown? You have to know what that looks like for you, right? You have to know what that looks like for you. And by knowing what that looks like, it helps you to identify, but also to be able to fix the problem. Fifth, withdrawal from friends, family, or work. I really don't do a lot of withdrawal because I just love my family. I love what I do in work, but sometimes for me, I find where days will go by and I just don't feel like doing nothing. Nothing means like I just feel like doing nothing. Do I have to do stuff? Yeah, I need to do stuff because I'm my own boss. But at times I just feel like, oh, I'm just tired. I'm just tired, right? And that at times become a bit overwhelming, right? And I just feel like we at times believe that we can do it all, but truth be told, we can't do it all. We cannot do it all. Last thing is, I told you the first sign is extreme emotional outburst or numbness. Second is insomnia or oversleep. And these are common signs that you're having a mental breakdown, or for some, call it nervous breakdown. Three, loss of appetite or overeating. Four, panic attacks or racing thoughts. Five, withdrawals from friends, family, or work. And the sixth one that we're going to talk about is lack of concentration or decision making ability. You just can't concentrate. You can't make up your mind, right? I don't think that happens to me much, but for some people that does happen, right? So, what are some real life examples? Let me just kind of break that into with you. So, again, today we're just having that real conversation. Let's talk about mental breakdown, how to know you're having one, how to avoid it, and what can you do to stay happy, peaceful, and be even present in the moment. So I just gave you some common signs to look for. Common signs: one, extreme emotional outbursts or numbness. Second, insomnia or oversleeping. Three, loss of appetite or overeating. Four, panic attacks or racing thoughts. Five, withdrawal from friends, family, or work. Six, lack of concentration or decision making ability. So let's kind of go deeper into some real life example. Maybe you find yourself crying in the shower every morning, or suddenly lashing out over some small things, or feeling like you are floating through life on an autopilot with no emotional energy. For me, it was like I feel like I was on autopilot, like I'm just going through the motions, right? That's when you know you're having a nervous breakdown or a mental breakdown. Why does this really happen to most of us? Stress overload, and we don't realize it. So we are stressed and we're on overload, and we keep on going rather than taking that break for yourself. Unresolved trauma. You have trauma in your past that you haven't resolved. And because of those unresolved trauma, you have this meltdown, mental meltdown, or a nervous breakdown, right? Burnout. You may be burned out. You're doing too much. And even for me, like, I had a conversation with she's a friend, but she's also one of my agents. And we had to talk about something. And I realized something about myself. Sometimes I promise too much, overpromise, and underdeliver. And it's not that it's intentional for me to kind of promise you something and not deliver it. It's just I overpromise information. I'm overpromise myself to help. And like the ability to do it is there. I mean, the will to do it is there, but the concept of me trying to get it done with the bandwidth I have, sometimes it's not possible, and it makes me overpromise, and then I'm burnt out from the promising of it, and then the person on the other end gets hurt, feeling like I abandoned them, right? And again, it's not my intention, but I have to realize when I'm stretching myself too thin. And this conversation, sometimes I tell people, talk to people. If you may take offense to what that this person stood me up. This person, here they go again, promising, not knowing this person is burnt out, not knowing this person is on stress overload, not knowing that, things are happening in their life that they can't even control. They also, this can happen because your hormonal shift. Like, as we age, ladies, these hormones shift, you know. You may also be going through a loss of job, a loss of income, a loss of a person, a friend, family, loved ones. Somebody may betrayed you, financial instability. Those are things, is a reason why many people have mental breakdown or nervous breakdown, or they may suppress emotions that finally erupted like a volcano. This is why somebody may be having a mental breakdown or a nervous breakdown. So you got to identify what that looks like for you. And sometimes this is a conversation that we don't even have. We don't talk about. We don't figure out how to deal with a situation like this because nobody's talking about it. Right? Nobody's talking about what causes mental breakdown. Nobody's talking about the triggers. What's the common triggers? So let's talk about what are the common triggers of a person having a mental breakdown. Workplace burnout. Many of us can relate to that workplace burnout. Caregiver fatigue. You may be like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed by caregiving, by caring for my family or caring for my kids or caring for my parents or caring for that fatigue, right? Grief and trauma, that's a trigger. Isolation and loneliness, that's a common trigger for mental breakdowns. Unmet expectation and perfectionism, right? Unmet expectations, unbalanced routine, your sleep routine, your diet routine, your exercise routine. I found myself in that, sleep, diet, and exercise, unbalanced routine. I'm moving, so it's like everything is all over the place for me, right? In my house is all over the place. My mind is all over the place, so everything is just like this off balance. My routine is not balanced. I can't wait till the remaining that other half of the year. I'm not saying this first half wasn't amazing. It truly was. God showed up and showed out every single month for me. And for that, I am so grateful. But I'm excited for June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I'm excited for that, what's to come. Another trigger for many people for mental breakdown is ignoring early warning signs. We ignore it. We ignore the emotional exhaustion. We ignore the trauma. We ignore the workplace burnout. We ignore it all rather than identifying, seeing it, knowing it, and working through it. So I'm going to ask you to have this type of reflection. I'm going to give you a question, and I want you to reflect on this question. And I need you to write it down and answer it for yourself. So, have you been ignoring your body's whispers only to have them scream at you? Have you? Have you been ignoring your body's whispers? Your body tells you everything. And when it's telling you everything and you're not listening to it, it begins to scream at you and goes into shutdown mode. Someone I love dearly, a couple of days ago, could not even get up because his body's been screaming at him for so long. Rest, take a break, relax, exercise, stretch, give yourself some breathing space. But no, wasn't listening. So the body said, okay, you ain't listening, I'm going to shut you down. That's what our body does. So I want you to reflect right now. Have you been ignoring your body's whispers only to have them scream at you? And if it's screaming at you, what is your body saying? I want you to ask yourself that. What is your body saying? Again, you are tuned into Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. Today, conversation, we're talking about mental breakdown. How to know you're having one, how to avoid it, and what to do to stay happy, peaceful, and present. We talked about earlier the common signs, which includes extreme emotional outbreaks or numbness, insomnia or oversleeping, loss of appetite or overeating, panic attack or racing thoughts, withdrawal from friends, family, work, lack of concentration or decision-making ability. Then we talked about the different common triggers that causes mental breakdown, workplace burnout, caregiver fatigue, grief and trauma, isolation and loneliness, unmet expectation and perfectionism, unbalanced routines such as your sleep, your diet, your exercise, ignoring early warning signs of emotional exhaustion. And I did ask you to kind of do a reflection. Have you been ignoring your body's whispers? And if you have been ignoring it, only to know that it's screaming at you, what is your body telling you? What is it screaming out? Is it saying, help me? Is it saying, relax? Is it saying, take a break, take a breather, sleep? What is your body screaming at you, telling you? I want you to take some time and think about it. So now that I've shared that, now let's talk about the warning signs. You may be approaching a breakdown because I share with you the common signs. I share with you the common trigger, but what are the warning signs you may be approaching? You're almost there. Approaching, like you get into the gate of a breakdown. You get into the door of a breakdown, or you get into the car you get into a breakdown, okay? Approaching it. Before a full mental breakdown, there are a few red flags in everything in life. When something about to turn another leaf, it's always a sign. Before that relationship goes to the ended, it's always a sign. Before that car breaks down, it's always a sign. Everything comes with a sign, y'all. So sometimes we just tune it out. So let's talk about that. Tune into these signs. I want you to tune into these signs knowing when you are approaching a breakdown. One, you no longer find joy in what once made you happy. You no longer find joy in what once made you happy. That's a red flag that you're approaching a breakdown. Two, you're overwhelmed even by simple decision. That's another sign that you are approaching a breakdown. Three, you have constant headaches, muscle tension, and stomach issues. That's a red flag that you are approaching a breakdown. Four, you're easily triggered, overly emotional, or completely numbed. Whoo! I'm going to say that again because this red flag right here is something that you need to really look at. You are easily triggered by a conversation, by an action, by a deed, by someone, by something, right? Easily triggered, overly emotional, or completely numb. That's a sign that you are approaching a breakdown. That's a red flag, y'all. 5, you have lost motivation, even for self-care. Woo! I'm going to say that again. Number 5, you have lost motivation, even for self-care. That is a sign that you are approaching a breakdown. And 6, you feel hopeless or helpless, like giving up. Number 6 is hard, y'all. You feel hopeless or helpless, like giving up. That is a red flag, and that is a sign that you are approaching a breakdown. So I'm going to give you a prompt, and I want you to take this moment, and I want you to put it in your journal, put it in a book, and I want you to write this sentence. And I want you to answer it, right? What have I stopped doing that used to bring you joy? What have you stopped doing that used to bring you joy? What have you stopped doing that used to bring you joy? Like, y'all may think it's crazy, but what I've stopped doing lately is I stopped writing. It does bring me joy. But I've also replaced it with something that brings me more joy, right? But I love to write. You know? So what have you stopped doing that used to bring you joy? I need you to answer that. So as we just went over, again, you're tuned into Woman Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, and today's conversation is about you. All of us face this some point in our life, a mental breakdown or a nervous breakdown. But how do you really know that you're having one? How do you avoid when you're having it or before you have it? And what can you do right now to stay happy, stay present in the moment, stay peaceful in the moment? So I'm talking about that today for us to make sure we're grabbing hold of that. I've given you some common signs. I've given you some common triggers. I even talked about just a few seconds ago the different warning signs that you may be approaching a breakdown. These are the red flags. 1, you no longer find joy in what you once made you happy. 2, you're overwhelmed even by simple decisions. 3, you have constant headaches, muscle tension, stomach issues. 4, you're easily triggered, overly emotional, or completely numb. 5, you have lost in motivation, even for self-care. And finally, you feel hopeless or helpless, like giving up. Then I ask you to do me a favor because I always believe writing is such therapy. So I'm asking you to write this in your journal or write this in a book that only you can see. And I want you to answer this question. What have what have I stopped doing that used to bring me joy? What have you stopped doing that used to bring you joy? I need you to write it down so you can know what you stopped so you can go back to it so it can bring you joy. Okay? So now let's go deeper a little bit more. I'm going to give you about 7 reasons how you can avoid a mental breakdown. I'm going to give you 7 ways that you can avoid a breakdown. Okay? I'm almost there, y'all. Listen, we're getting closer to the end, but I want to make sure I give you all that you need. So, how can you avoid a mental breakdown? 1, practice emotional hygiene. You like, what? What is emotional hygiene? Check in daily. How am I doing, really? Check in with yourself. It sounds like crazy. I would say name your emotion. Like, okay, for me today, this morning, my emotion this morning was anxiety. That was my emotion. And I had to allow, and then the next thing for you, just after you name your emotion, I want you to allow yourself to feel without shame, right? So how did I, in that moment, the reason why I was having anxiety, because as I shared with you, I'm moving. So I'm juggling between two places where I'm living. I'm closing out one shop and opening up another, right? So, and it was just so much. So I was feeling that space of anxiety, but I didn't feel any shame behind any of it. I was just like, I had a spirit of gratitude because even with me moving, I didn't have to put a deposit down on something, right? And I was just like so excited about that. I was like, God, at least that came back, no deposit, right? And you have to feel that. I want you to find a way every day to practice emotional hygiene. Check in with yourself. How am I doing? How am I really doing? And in that moment, name your emotion and allow yourself to feel without shame. Second, set boundaries. It's okay to say no. And oh my gosh, this is my biggest. I had a conversation with someone, and she brought to my attention that I'm a yeser. I'm a person that says yes, yes, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna help, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna help, I'm gonna help. No, because I did not set boundaries, I let her down because I was promising and not delivering. Not intentionally, because I meant good by my promise, but I couldn't financially afford to deliver. So I pulled back, not knowing how much it hurt. And it wasn't intentional, y'all. Sometimes we do things that we don't even realize. But if I had set proper boundary by saying, you know what? No, I can't do that. It's okay to just say that. I want you to know that. And it's okay to rest. It's okay to protect your peace. It's okay to be at peace with what you say no to. Like somebody had asked me to do something, and at the moment I did a yes. I was like, oh, okay, yes. But I wasn't at peace with the yes. So I turned around and said no. That person was not happy, but I was able to live with my no because I know it would have triggered a big deal for me knowing that I've given out a part of something that I haven't even worn, I haven't even touched, given it out for them to wear for an hour or whatever. And it's like I wasn't at peace with that. Did I want to help? Yes. But my their lack of planning was not my urgency. If they had planned better, they wouldn't have to come out of their way to ask for something. So always remember, their lack of planning, people lack of planning is not your sense of urgency. And I'm going to give that credit to Pastor Dr. Angela, because she gave me that. And I said, ooh, I'm going to use that. Your failure of planning should never be my sense of urgency. You have to plan better. You have to organize better. You have to, make plan where it serve its purpose the right way, and not depend on somebody else um, to fuel your sense of urgency. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to you. Okay? So I need you all to always remember that. Remember that. Okay? Third is sleep, eat, move, repeat. Sleep, eat, move, repeat. Sleeping is where you heal your body. When you sleep, when you get enough rest, you heal. When you sleep, you rest. When you rest, you heal. Okay? So I want y'all to remember that. And eat. Eat the right things to fuel your body. And move after you eat. Every time I eat something, I normally do some form of exercise. And repeat it. Treat your body like the sacred vessel it is. It's a sacred vessel. Sleep at least 7 to 8 hours a day. Nourish your body by eating the right thing. Not numb it, not starve it. And move your body daily. Even if it's just walking in your community, even if it's just moving by a beat, even if it's just turning on your YouTube and dancing, move. The fourth reason why I'm giving you 7 reasons how to avoid a mental breakdown. The fourth reason is talk to someone. I don't know what it is about people feeling like they can't talk to a therapist or a counselor or a pastor or someone, a good friend who ain't going to share your business, or a life coach. Don't suffer in silence because you choose to not speak out. And also tell the truth. There's a therapist around you, a life coach, or even a trusted friend that can be a lifeline. I have a lifeline. Alicia Cannon is my lifeline. My family is my lifeline. I don't like to hold things in. Find your lifeline. Find that person. And I have a good client of mine. She, sometimes I'm coaching her, and she's a therapist, and sometimes she makes a session where within our session with her, she's giving me some type of therapy, right? You have to have that one person, someone to talk to. It's not good. Talk to someone. Don't suffer in silence. Number 5, detox from toxicity. What does that include? That includes people, social media, environments, and even your own negative self-talk. Detox from toxicity. That includes people, social media, environment, and even our negative self-talk. That is important, y'all. Okay? When you can do that, it helps you to avoid mental breakdown. Okay? Number 6, rest. Don't quit. Take a break. It's okay to take a break. It's not failure. It's wisdom. I love this because I know I do a lot. And everybody knows Mellisa does a lot. But at times I stop and I take a break. Never quit, never giving up. But I know that is wisdom to do so. Like, I have been taking a test that I want to pass, and I failed it twice. I took a mental break for about a week. I'm about to go back at it again. I didn't fail. Yes, I didn't pass it, but I didn't fail. I didn't want to quit in that moment. I literally just rested my brain, took a break from it, because that's wisdom. And I'm going to start the process back up again, studying and studying, give myself another week to pass this test. Because when I pass, I will be an official graduate of the Nelson Nash Institution, teaching people how to become their own banks through the infinite banking concept. I'm going to be a certified practitioner of the Nelson Nash Institute. Listen, rest, don't quit. Just take a break. It's wisdom. And the last reason why I'm going to share how to avoid mental breakdown is reconnect with your spiritual core. Ooh, what is your spiritual core? I'm going to tell you mine. Reading the word of truth, the Bible, praying each and every day, and meditating on God's word and his purpose for my life. May not be for you, but I'm going to tell you what mine is. I read the word of God every single day. I also connect with other Bible-believing Christians, and we do work. Like I have two amazing friends. Laura is one of my amazing friends, and she and I every single week, every single day, every single month, we have been doing faithfully our devotions together on the Bible app. And then I have another friend that's going to be joining me on the Bible app. We're doing something for our leadership as a leader, but we're also doing something together personally. So we connect with the word of truth, and we also pray together. You know, anytime I get off the phone with some of my colleagues, I ask, can I say a word of prayer? Why? Prayer changes things. And third is meditate. I meditate on God's word day and night. I meditate by relaxing and releasing and receiving what God has for me. Let the stillness, the spirit of truth, guide you back home, guide you back to peace, guide you back to love, guide you back to one with your Creator, which is God. So again, I've given you 7 reasons or 7 ways that you can avoid mental breakdown. 1, practice emotional hygiene. 2, set boundaries. 3, sleep, eat, move, and repeat. 4, talk to someone. 5, detox from toxicity. 6, rest. Don't quit. And 7, reconnect with your spiritual core. Today, I decided to really talk about mental breakdown, as well as, people call it mental breakdown or nervous breakdown, however you want to call it, because we're not talking about it. We're living through it, but we're not talking about it. So I remember having this conversation with one of my greatest friends, and she was talking about it. And I said, you know what? I need to do an episode. I need to do a segment just on mental breakdown, or you can call it nervous breakdown. And in the beginning of the conversation, I talked about the common signs. I gave you what the common signs were. I talked about what are the triggers that you have to look out for mental breakdown. Then I told you the warning signs that I told you the warning signs you may be approaching a breakdown. I told you the warning signs that you may be approaching a breakdown. Then we just talked about how to avoid a mental breakdown. I gave you the 7. Now let's dig deeper a little bit more. I'm almost there, y'all. I want to make sure you get everything. What to do? What can you do when you are in the middle of one? Ooh. What can you do when you're in the middle of a breakdown or a nervous breakdown? First and foremost, please breathe. Please breathe. The second thing I want you to do is pause. Don't make any big decision right now. Just take a pause. Take a pause after you breathe. Take a pause. Don't make any big decision right now. The third thing I want you to do is find a safe space, whether that's your bed. For me, it's always my bed. A park, your car, or a friend's home. I want you to find that safe space and just breathe. Relax and breathe. If you are in the middle of a breakdown, I want you to tell someone you're not weak for needing help. Yeah, I remember on, what day was it? Monday night. I text a person, one of my good friends. I told her, look, this is what happened to me. And she said, Mellisa, if you're feeling this way by Tuesday morning, go to the hospital. I wasn't ashamed to tell her what was going on with me. You have to tell someone it's not weakness, it's wisdom. The next thing is hydrate and eat something nourishing. Sometimes when we're in the middle of a breakdown or a middle of a nervous breakdown, a middle of a mental breakdown or a nervous breakdown, we don't want to eat. We don't want to eat. We don't want to hydrate. But I'm asking you to hydrate with some water and eat something nourishing. I always love me some soup, y'all. If y'all know me, y'all know I love me my Jamaican soup, my chicken soup. That's my go-to. And the next is, while you're in the middle of a mental breakdown or a nervous breakdown, journal what you are feeling. Don't edit it. Let it be raw like it is. Let it flow. Don't edit it. Like, don't erase and come back. No, let it flow. Journal it. Write it out. Put it where no one else can read it. And if you're in the middle, again, of a mental and a nervous breakdown, get professional help. Call the hotline. Talk to your therapist or make an appointment now. And in that process, while you're in the middle of a mental or a nervous breakdown, I want you to tell yourself this. This is temporary. I will heal. I will rise. I'm going to say that again 3 times. This is temporary. I will heal and I will rise. Again, this is temporary. I will heal and I will rise. I hope that part was a really bit helpful for you. If you are in the middle of a mental or a nervous breakthrough right now, pause, find a safe space, tell someone, hydrate and eat something nourishing, journal what you're feeling, get some professional help, and tell yourself, this is temporary. I will heal and I will rise again. And as I close this last conversation in, I want to really share this with you. I want to talk about staying happy. How do you stay happy, peaceful, and present in the moment while you're going through this challenging state of mind, this challenging time of a mental and nervous breakdown? First, start your day with intention. Don't touch your phone. Don't touch your phone. I'm going to say it again. Don't touch your phone. Breathe, stretch, speak life. Breathe, stretch, speak life into your day. That's the first thing. That's your first day. The first thing that you would do to start your day. Breathe, stretch, and speak life into your day. Second, be grateful, even for the little things. Even for the little things, be grateful. Gratitude grounds us in joy. Even I was telling you how I had anxiety, but in the midst of my anxiety of all the things that's happening, I was really grateful and was showing forth gratitude that I didn't have to put a deposit down for my move to my new home. I didn't have to put for my light bill, right? For my, when you transfer from one bill to the next, sometimes they want you to put a deposit. I was so grateful. In that moment, I showed gratitude. And three, this is again how we stay happy, peaceful, and present in the moment. Find moments of delight. I love flowers, y'all. If you come to my house, you always see some flowers on my table. Sunshine. Get up in the morning, go to your patio, or you open the door and go outside. Get some sunshine. A cup of tea or a cup of coffee. A good laugh. These are some daily miracles that can brighten and have a delightfulness add some delightfulness to your day, right? So find some moments of delight. The flowers, the sunshine, a cup of tea or coffee, a good laugh, y'all. Do some reels. Scroll up. These are some daily miracles that will help you to stay happy, peaceful, and present in the moment. Or for me, love on my daughter, or just love on my puppy, my baby Mia. Okay? And then number 4, keep a peace list. Ooh, y'all, listen. Keep a peace list. Know what brings you peace and do more of it. And do it often. What does your your peace list look like? Keep a peace list, y'all. And 5, forgive daily. Unforgiveness is a heavy burden. Whoo, let it go. Unforgiveness is a heavy burden. Let it go. Like I always tell people, people start trying to, like, literally, some people hold stuff against me, and I don't even know that they're holding it against me until they tell me. And when they do tell me, I'm the first to apologize and say, please, I am so sorry. In my ability to wanting to help, I really didn't realize I've overextended myself. But sometimes people forget all the good things that you have done for them in the process of the few things that you haven't done for them, right? But we can't hold that against people. So that's why I ask people, please, if I've offended you, please forgive me, because it's not ever my intent to hurt you. It's never. If you know me, if I have a piece of cake, I promise you, and it's 5 of us, I will split that piece of cake. I will get the smallest piece while I make sure everybody gets something. If I I'm about to receive my honorary doctorate in June. When I came to the table, I didn't want to be at the table alone. I invited 8 other people to the table. Well, I invited 6, and one of my 6 invited 2. She was like, and then the 2 she invited, I knew of them. So I'm like, yes, and yes, I will vouch for them. That's you now being selfless, because I know the value of humanitarianism and how much these people have served humanity on purpose. So forgive daily. What I say, forgive daily. Unforgiveness is heavy. It's a heavy burden to carry each and every day. Let people go. Let go and let God have his way. So I'm going to give you 7 affirmations that I want you to know. If you haven't got my book, Open Your Mouth and Speak, 365 affirmations to affirm yourself daily. I have a lot of those books here that I would love to sign and gift to you and give it to you. Not gift it to you, but you're going to purchase it. It's only $40, and that covers your shipping and handling and you get a signed autographed copy. You may not have all your affirmations, but in this book, there is an affirmation for you. And these are 7 affirmations, not from my book, but I just wanted to share some small, short affirmation. But I do want you to get a copy of my book, Open Your Mouth and Speak, 365 affirmations to affirm yourself daily. I have a couple copies with me. I think I have about maybe, I don't know, I think it's under 50 copies that's still here with me. I can sign them and send them over to you. Okay, it's only $40, which covers the shipping and handling as well. So the first affirmation I want you to speak over yourself is, I am worthy of peace and protection. I, Mellisa, is worthy of peace and protection. I, Mellisa, I am allowed to rest and receive. I, Mellisa, I am allowed to rest and receive. Say your name. I, Mellisa, release what I can't control and trust what I can. 4, I, Mellisa, am strong, but I don't have to carry it all. My mind is clear, and Mellisa, your heart is calm. Number 6, I, Mellisa, honor my emotions without judgment. Number 7, finally, I, Mellisa, I'm grounded. I, Mellisa, I'm grounded, grateful, and growing. So I'm going to say them without my name so you can remember it for yourself. Number 1, affirmation. I am worthy of peace and protection. Number 2, I am allowed to rest and receive. Number 3, I release what I can't control and trust what I can. Number 4, I am strong, but I don't have to carry it all. Number 5, my mind is clear, my heart is calm. Number 6, I honor my emotions without judgment. Number 7, I am grounded, grateful, and growing. I love this episode because it's not just for you. I'm talking to me as well. So thank you all for tuning in to Woman Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. If this episode spoke to you, do me a favor. Share it with someone you like, love, and trust. Someone you know that really, really need it. And even if you don't think they need it, it's not for you to judge. It's just for you to share. Let's normalize healing, boundaries, and soul care. You know, I will love to connect with you. So you can definitely go to, my website. Lambert. You can just go to, if you want to book a session, go to Coach Mellisa. That's Coach, then Mellisa.com. That is my financial calendar, but you can also still book a time with me. And don't forget to follow me on all the social media platform at Mellisa, Mellisa S. Lambert. That's Mellisa, Mellisa S. Lambert. And also go to my website, LambertLegacyFinancial.com. LambertLegacyFinancial.com. I'm a corepreneur, and I teach people how to become their own bank. I teach the truth about money and letting you understand the importance of becoming your own bank, controlling what you work so hard for, and being able to leave a legacy for your children's children's children. Thank you so much for tuning in. I pray that this episode found you well and you are able to identify and know you are having a mental breakdown or a nervous breakdown and know how to avoid it and how you can stay happy, peaceful, and present even in the moment. So until next time, everyone, take care, take charge, and continue to be great. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, where Mellisa speaks with leaders, experts, and motivators who share their journeys and their stories through personal and professional growth, knowledgeable tips, and lessons learned that will empower you to grow. Follow Mellisa and Women Emerge Network on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at MELLISASLAMBERT and at Women Emerge Network. And visit www.womenemergenetwork.com. Remember, when you know better, you can do better, especially when God is for you.